the superchlorinate to 24 hours. If you've gotten out to the pool and you notice that it's getting cloudy and stuff like that, and you want to run your superchlorinate, it usually takes 24 hours to get it clear. You are doing it naturally with your salt system, so it's going to take a little bit longer than just adding liquid chlorine to the pool. But you can adjust that. If you only want it to run, say, half that time, 12 hours, just your plus and minus arrows, and you can set that to whatever time that you want it to run to. And that's the end of your timer's menu.
Okay.
And if I hit your menu button a third time, this is going to be your most important menu, is your diagnostic menu. Turn the filter on. Your diagnostic menu won't necessarily work unless the filter is running, so that we can get a proper salt reading. That white cell there is what your salt system actually is. Now the salt goes in the pool, circulates through the system, passes by that cell. Small amount of electrolysis goes into the water and turns your water and salt into hypochlorite, which is cleaning agent chlorine without all the bad man-made stuff. Now testing with regular test strips, you'll see there is a chlorine spot. This is what you're going to be getting. I'll show you how to do this in a moment as well. Dip this in the pool and you line it up. And your most important chemical is going to be pH. When your pH gets too low, your water becomes highly acidic. Red eyes, different color hair, dry skin, most people think it's too much chlorine. It's usually a low pH. When your water becomes acidic, it's going to attack you, but it's also going to attack your pool equipment. So you'll slowly burn out the liner, seals and gaskets and stuff in the system will start to go, and then most importantly, the inside of your heater is made out of copper, the manifold that's in there. And when your water's too acidic, it'll slowly eat that copper up. Once you get a hole in that manifold, then it's a new heater. So pH is always your most important chemical. Total alkalinity is basically your baking soda. It's also another anti-acid, and it'll help balance your pH. And then the only other thing you're going to be looking for is cyanuric acid or stabilizer. So as per any test kit that you get, these are the three chemicals you're going to be looking for.
How often do you suggest we test?
At least once a week. Unless you're having any issues and you're constantly adjusting your chemicals, you're going to want to check daily until you straighten it out. But usually once a week.
Okay.
And I say once a week for everything. Take a walk around the pool, check your baskets, make sure there's nothing clogging up the skimmer. Come over here, pop your pump open, make sure there's not too much stuff in the basket, and then just see what your filter's running. Now, in saying that, the arrow you're going to be watching is that little black one. That's the one that's going to move and tell you what your pressure is. 10 to 15 pounds is normal pressure. Anything below that, the lower your pressure is, the cleaner the filter is. So you start getting above 15 pounds, you get into the 20 to 30 range, you'll definitely have to clean this out.
How do you do that?
I'll show you how to pull it apart. For one thing you will notice, you'll get that little LO on the heater when this is too dirty. That, and I always say look at the pool, the motion in the pool. If the jets aren't blowing really hard, the skimmer's not picking up very well, more than likely it's either clogged baskets or a dirty filter.
How often do these filters typically need to be cleaned?
Again, once a week at least, especially when you're getting heavy usage. Yes. And beginning of the season, we have pollen issue, so you're going to get a lot of extra powder that's going to clog that up on you.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, when the pollen does get really bad, I know a few customers that have really bad issues with it that might have to pull that out every day or every 2 days. But once you get past the pollen season, it's regular maintenance to do it once a week.
Okay.
Let's show you diagnostic menu. Okay. Now 3 pushes of the button will bring you to your diagnostic menu. If I hit my over arrow once, it'll give you, this is the most important numbers, is your water temperature here at the bottom and your parts per million salt. So this is where you're getting your up to time reading. This is where it is right now. That other one in the default menu was just your weekly average, but it seems that your weekly average and your regular on time one is the same. If I push my over arrow again, this will give you an instant salt save. So if that diagnostic or the default menu is saying 27, and you come in here to your diagnostic menu and the number is much higher or lower, you can save this, hit the plus arrow, and now that number becomes my default menus number. So that regular menu, when you first scroll through, will have the proper salt reading on it. My over arrow again. Flow switch just tells you that there's water moving through the system. Now, if for any reason it's telling you to check your salt cell or that there's no flow, come in here and it'll tell you whether there's water moving through the pool. If for any reason this says no flow and you've gone over everything, filter's clean, no issues, everything's running fine, it could just be a flow sensor or part of the salt cell. As of right now, everything is under warranty. So anything happens, it's not working right, or something gets screwed up, call us right away, we'll come out, we'll fix it for you. Hit my over arrow again, cell temperature sensor, which should be the same as your water temperature. Water sensor, your air sensor, and then main software stuff. That's basically for us technical guys. Okay, now as far as this is your pump basket here, shut that off manually. Unscrew these two knobs, go down to the side. Now, a little bit of stuff in here is not a big issue. You start getting too much debris in here, and it'll definitely slow the pump down. When that basket goes back in, you just want to make sure it sits down all the way. If you put it in backwards, it will not sit down all the way, but you can still get the lid on. Now, if it doesn't go down all the way, anything that comes in will go past and it'll get trapped into your impeller. Just want to make sure that goes all the way in. Whenever you've opened this too, just double check this gasket. There's a rubber seal here. And make sure your lid's clean. A little bit of stuff in there or a leaf or anything. When you put this back together and try to turn it on, it'll pull a bunch of air and it won't pick up right away for you. So if you're having issues where the pump's not running and you've just opened the lid, just double check that seal. Make sure there's nothing trapped in the lid.